mean, I just wish Lonnie would tell the truth. You bisexual. Clearly you don't love black women because all you do is abuse them socially, always clout chasing off of women. Like, come on, what makes him a relevant rapper anymore? Who really gives a
Wait, what? Common's own mother might have just hinted at the real reason her son can't keep a woman. People have been whispering for years about why Common, handsome, successful, smooth talking, always ends up single. And now, word on the street is that the truth could be way deeper than just bad luck in love. Apparently, it might not even be about women at all. Allegedly. So here's the thing. Common and his mom have always been tight. She raised him alone after divorcing his dad, and she's basically watched him go through every relationship he's ever had. First, there was Kim Jones, his longtime girlfriend and the mother of his daughter. But that relationship crashed when their little girl was just a year old. Then came the early 2000s when Common was linked to Erykah Badu, and those two even made music magic together. But that love...
And I found myself in what was called love addiction, who my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and this that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that feeling. When that feeling would go away and the real part of relationships came, I was like, okay, do I want this or not? Like, I wasn't ready to do the work.
He was out.
Yeah, it was ready. I wasn't ready to do the work.
Story didn't last either. By 2005, he was dating Taraji P. Henson, and though they kept it private, Taraji once said Common was one of her realest relationships ever, the kind she thought could lead to marriage. Apparently, Taraji was even his mom's favorite. But that might have changed later on, because Taraji was only the third in a long line of beautiful, powerful women. After Taraji came Serena Williams. Yep, that's Serena, and their romance was one everyone rooted for. But in 2010, Serena reportedly ended things, and even years later, Common admitted he still had love and respect for her. Next up was Angela Rye, the political commentator. That relationship was rocky. They broke up, got back together, and broke up again before Common moved on to Tiffany Haddish. And let's not forget Jennifer. Plus, the rumored flings with Ava DuVernay, Jaguar Wright, and even Simone, the widow of the late Chadwick Boseman. Common's dating history reads like a highlight reel of Hollywood royalty. So the million-dollar question still stands: why can't Common keep a woman? Allegedly, even his own mother has been asking that for years. Why can't her son, who's dated some of the most incredible women out there, ever seem to settle down? Well, the whispers say it might be because of something much deeper. Word on the street, and allegedly hinted by his mom, is that Common may still be struggling with some personal battles tied to his past. There are claims that he was taken advantage of by a man when he was younger, and that trauma might have left him conflicted when it comes to forming connections with women. Shocking, right? Common himself opened up about this in an interview with People magazine. He admitted he didn't even realize what had happened to him until years later. In his own words, "I kinda wiped that out of my mind for a while. For a long time, I had a tendency to do that, to tuck things away in a corner." He said his healing journey came through prayer, meditation, therapy, and art. He realized what had happened to him while working on the film The Tale, which deals with the same subject matter. He even told his co-star Laura Dern, "Yo, I think this happened to me." That's when all the memories came rushing back. Common later revealed that he had to tell his mom, Dr. Maha Hines, about it. And surprisingly, that conversation wasn't as heavy as he expected. He said she looked at him and said, "You seem like a happy person." But Common made it clear, just because someone seems happy doesn't mean they really are. Powerful words. He also said his past trauma doesn't define his love life, but not everyone's convinced. According to whispers, even Common's mom allegedly believes that what he went through as a child might have shaped how he views love and relationships as an adult. So maybe it's not about him being unlucky in love. Maybe it's about him still healing from wounds that never fully closed. And if that's true, it paints a whole new picture of why Common, the man who seems to have it all, might still be searching for the one. Looks like there's way more to this story, because what I found might explain why Common's love life always seems to fall apart. So get this, while I was digging around, I came across a wild story from someone claiming their friend's husband had a strange run-in with Common at a Hollywood event. And honestly, if true, this changes everything. According to this source, the guy was at an industry party with his wife, who works in entertainment. While she was busy handling business, Common supposedly spent nearly an hour chatting up her husband. And only him. The twist? The guy didn't even know who Common was until later that night, when his wife told him. Now here's where it gets messy. Allegedly, around 3 a.m., just as the party was dying down and his wife texted him to step outside, Common leaned in and asked, "So, what are you doing later tonight?" The husband said he just froze for a second before replying, "Going home with my wife," and described the whole moment as straight up awkward. When people later asked him if maybe he misread the vibe, he swore he didn't. He said the tone, the look, everything, it came across exactly the way it sounded. Yikes. But that's not the only thing people are whispering about. Jaguar Wright, who used to run in the same circles, came out claiming Common might actually be on the DL, and according to her, he's allegedly had a thing for John Legend. She didn't hold back. She even joked that people are just waiting for Chrissy Teigen to overdo it with plastic surgery and start looking like Jacko so that Common and John can finally move in together and start making musicals. That's how bold she was with it. Jaguar didn't stop there either. She said that both Common and John would rather spend time with each other than with women. She claimed people need to stop pretending and admit what's really going on. And then she dropped another bomb, saying Common doesn't love black women, claiming he uses them for social gain and clout instead of real love. That's a serious accusation. But here's the kicker. Jaguar claims she knows because she dated him herself. She even pointed out how, despite Common's long list of famous exes, none of them have ever publicly gushed about his performance in bed. Not one. According to her, that silence says a lot. Whether you believe her or not, she definitely didn't hold back. Still, we can't ignore that there might be other reasons Common hasn't settled down, and some sound a lot more personal than scandalous. For example, Angela Rye, one of his exes, once said she believed Common simply didn't want to build a family. On her podcast On One with Angela Rye, she revealed that while she was ready for kids, Common wasn't. She said, "I was leaning toward, I want kids," and he was leaning toward, "I don't know." Then she added, "When someone says I don't know, they actually mean no. They just don't want to hurt you." That's deep. So maybe it wasn't drama or infidelity that ended things. Maybe he just wasn't on the same page emotionally. It's totally possible that some of the women he dated wanted families, while Common was upfront, like he was with Angela, about not wanting that life. And then, of course, Tiffany Haddish had her own take. She once said, Common might just be the kind of man who loves the chase more than the commitment. According to her, he's obsessed with the pursuit, the thrill of those early stages. But once things get comfortable, he gets bored and moves on. So between awkward encounters, past trauma, exes spilling secrets, and whispers about who he truly connects with, maybe Common's problem isn't that he can't keep a woman. Maybe he's just not looking for one in the first place. First of all, for the most obvious reason, Common has definitely lived up to his name when it comes to women. The man's track record speaks for itself. Sources close to Jennifer Hudson claim that while Common came into her life like a dream, smooth, charming, saying all the right things, her friends are side-eyeing the situation hard. Apparently, Jen's close circle, especially her best friend Jude, is worried about Common's long list of famous exes and is warning her not to rush into anything serious just yet. But let's be honest here. Didn't Jen already know what she was getting into? Common's entire dating history has been public knowledge for years. From Serena Williams to Taraji P. Henson to Tiffany Haddish, the man's romantic resume is practically Hollywood history. So for her to suddenly start doubting him now because of his past, that just sounds wild. People are already reading into subtle signs too, like how the two have been spotted together less and less lately. The smiles look a little more forced, the hand-holding a little less natural, and those cryptic posts from Jennifer. Whew! Fans are convinced they're low-key breakup hints. Some say she's been posting about choosing peace and letting go of what doesn't serve her. And that's all it took for the rumor mill to explode. And get this, whispers are saying Common might already have his eyes wandering again. Allegedly, he's been seen out and about without J-Hud, looking a little too friendly with other women. No solid proof yet, but when it comes to Common's love life, people are quick to believe the worst. After all, the man has a pattern. Every relationship starts with passion, headlines, and sweet words. And then out of nowhere, poof, it's over. Honestly, I can't say for sure where things stand between Common and Jennifer, but let's call it what it is. His failed relationships aren't with just anyone. These are strong, high-value women who can match his energy and hold their own in the industry. Yet somehow, every single time, it fizzles out. Even his own mother allegedly wonders how her son keeps letting incredible women slip through his fingers. So what's the real issue here? Is Common just cursed in love? Or could those whispers about him secretly preferring men actually have some truth to them? Either way, it's getting messy, and fans are watching closely to see how this plays out next. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next wild Hollywood twist.